I don't dance on Reels and I don't lip sync. No shade to anybody who does do those things, but I was like, that's just not, it's not a part of me and my personality. It's definitely not a part of my brand. I'm not dancing. Where now it's just like, I don't know if this title is searchable or not. I just know that this is what I want to talk about on this subject matter, and it's making a really big difference. Again, it's making a big difference for me on YouTube, but it's making a big difference for me on Instagram. You know, I think so. I think people can kind of see the excitement and the content just comes off better. And because they see that and they engage with it, it's like the algorithm picks it up and then distributes it more than if I were trying to do something simply because I thought that it was going to help me to go viral. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and one of all the things that I do is post really consistently on social media. In fact, Instagram is another one of my big platforms outside of YouTube that I am really consistent on, that I get a lot of questions about. And so I thought it would be great to do this video because I'm really excited that recently I've been seeing a lot of great engagement with my Instagram. I know particularly on YouTube, everybody is griping about Instagram and the algorithm, and they're ruining it, and they're trying to make it like TikTok, and what's wrong with them, make Instagram great again, like all of this stuff. And while, you know, I don't really have a dog in the fight about that, I understand that despite all the ups and downs with the algorithm, it's still possible to get great engagement and to achieve your goals on Instagram, and that's exactly what's been happening to me. So if you're curious about the tweaks that I made in order to improve the engagement on my Instagram, you're in luck, because we're gonna get into it right now. All right, the first tweak that I made, and this is gonna sound like almost too simple to be true, but you would be amazed at how much it works. I simply decided to create content that I was excited about creating. And so I talk about this in detail in this video here that you can check out, which is all about why content creation is not difficult, it's actually easy, and how you can stop overthinking it. But I found that this is a strategy that really works across all platforms. I'm noticing increases in my engagement here on YouTube, my watch time, even the revenue that I'm generating. It's kind of crazy, all because I said, you know what? I'm not gonna focus on content that I think is gonna work or that I think is gonna go viral. I'm gonna create content that I genuinely like to create. I'm gonna talk about things that I really wanna talk about. I'm gonna hit it from the angles that I really wanna hit it from. And you know, the people who will resonate with it are out there. They'll find it, they'll resonate with it. And you know, if the masses don't resonate with it, I'm okay with that. That's really the position that I took. And who knew? It's like, oh, okay, now I'm talking about things that I'm really passionate about talking about. Not that I wasn't passionate about talking about the things that I was talking about before, but I was very focused previously on being very like SEO oriented and how can I talk about topics that I know people are actively searching for, where now it's just like, I don't know if this title is searchable or not. I just know that this is what I want to talk about on this subject matter, and it's making a really big difference. Again, it's making a big difference for me on YouTube, but it's making a big difference for me on Instagram. So I don't know if people can feel the passion. I don't know if the algorithm can feel the passion, but you know, I think so. I think people can kind of see the excitement and the content just comes off better. And because they see that and they engage with it, it's like the algorithm picks it up and then distributes it more than if I were trying to do something simply because I thought that it was gonna help me to go viral. So I know that sounds almost too simple to be true, but it is true. Focusing on content that I wanted to create made a big difference with my Instagram engagement. All right, the second thing that I did that helped with my Instagram engagement is that I still use all post types. I know there's like this push like, oh, you gotta use Reels, you know, to get engagement on Instagram, and we're gonna talk about that later on in this video, but I still use, you know, all the post types, right? I do carousels, I do just like straight up pictures, right? I do quotes, and then of course I do Reels, but I find that that mix keeps my audience engaged because it kind of keeps them guessing. It keeps them coming back. They're like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder what, you know, this photo is about. Ooh, a carousel. Let's, you know, swipe through and see kind of what's this like mini masterclass that Courtney is teaching on. So I don't do only one type of post. I do all the styles of posts. And I find that even though those individual posts, you know, maybe a reel gets more reach than, you know, a quote or a photo or something like that, over time, I'm finding high engagement on all of my posts because it's that kind of like binge thing that's happening. People are starting here, but then they're clicking on this because it looks interesting, and they're looking at all the different content that I have on my feed, because I do have different content on my feed. It's not all just one thing. So I think the variety really helps. And you know, maybe Instagram and the algorithm, maybe they like that I'm still using all of the different styles of posts that they have available on the platform. All right, the third thing that I did to increase my engagement is I did up my Reels. I know, I was one of the people that, you know, had to create Reels kind of kicking and screaming, right? But hear me out, I don't dance on Reels and I don't lip sync. No shade to anybody who does do those things, but I was like, that's just not, it's not a part of me and my personality. It's definitely not a part of my brand. I'm not dancing. Even though I'm dancing in this video. I'm not dancing on my Reels. You know, I don't like doing the lip syncing thing. I wasn't really into it. But that doesn't mean that you can't use Reels, right? So I use Reels in a variety of ways. I use it to showcase like places that I've traveled to, different events and different things that I've done. I use Reels to teach. You know, I have a lot of education-oriented Reels, you know, and I just use Reels to kind of mix it up and to have fun with my brand, but to still keep it the way that I do things. And, you know, I like to keep things kind of, you know, elevated and high quality. And so I'm like, how can I just make high quality Reels, right? So I just really geeked out on making my Reels as high quality as possible. And I really have a style now for my Reels, and I find that my audience instantly recognizes it. So that has also been helpful with my engagement as well, because I do have such a defined style with my Reels. When I do them, when people see them across their feed, they instantly know it's me. Like, even if I'm not immediately pictured in the first, you know, frame of the Reel, it's just like, oh, this looks like a Courtney Reel. Let me see what she's got going on. And people click into it to see what I have to offer. And so, yeah, I find that works. So yes, I did kind of acquiesce and say, okay, I'm gonna do more Reels. Pretty much every other post I do as a Reel. But, you know, I do Reels in my own way. And I feel like that goes back to, you know, the first point that I made about creating content that I'm excited to create. I'm excited to create the kind of Reels that I do, right? I don't like doing Reels the way other people do them, or, you know, I don't want to do things that I don't want to do. So I do Reels in my own way and my audience enjoys it. And again, when my audience enjoys it, I feel like the algorithm sees that, it picks it up, and then it distributes it far and wide. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. How do you feel about your Instagram engagement? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that I did that I felt like I kind of had to go kicking and screaming to do this is I shared more of my boring life on my stories. Now, I know this might sound crazy to some of you, like, Courtney, what are you talking about? You run your business full time. You're like going to South Africa on this retreat. Like, you have a life that you could showcase on stories. But for me, in my day-to-day, I feel like my life was boring, literally. Like, I get up in the morning, I work out, I take my son to school, I come back home, and I sit at my computer and I work. I work, you know? Yes, I do have some glamorous days, or even like today, it's like, oh, you know, video photo shoot, but most of the day it's just like chill. I feel like I'm not necessarily dressed, you know, super fancy. I'm like, you know, eating the same things every day. Like, I feel like my day-to-day is boring, but that used to hold me back, where I wasn't always consistent posting on my stories. But I made a commitment because I knew that it was important. I said, you know what? If my audience is interested, I'm gonna show it even if I'm not interested in it. But guess what? I don't need to watch my own stories, right? My stories aren't for me, it's for my audience. And if they're interested in what I've got going on, even if I feel like my life is boring, I am going to share that. And so I've been sharing it and people love it, right? I'm like, oh, I'm at tennis lessons. Okay, I'm picking up my son from school. Okay, I'm at the grocery store. No, I haven't posted stories per se at the grocery store, but you know, I just post like stuff that's happening in my day-to-day during the day or during the week, and people really enjoy it. And it's like really increasing my engagement. Who knew? You know, people like me sitting at my desktop at home. Who would have thought, right? And so I'm saying, if I could showcase my boring life, you can showcase your life as well. Even if you feel like you do the same things every day, or you don't always have something, you know, glamorous going on. People, if they vibe with you, if they vibe with like your methodology and the way you do things and just your mindset and all of those things, if they vibe with it, they're gonna wanna see the behind the scenes and get to know you better. So I found that has increased my engagement. You know, definitely show the behind the scenes of your life, even if you think it's boring. All right, and the fifth thing that I did to increase my Instagram engagement is I post daily. I do. I post at least Monday through Friday, and most of the time, Monday through Sunday, I post daily, even if it's just one post. And I do post daily on my stories and my main feed. And so maybe this is an algorithm thing, I don't know. Maybe it gets my audience in the cadence where they're used to seeing me. They know that I'm consistent. They can kind of follow up and see what the next post is gonna be. But I have found that has drastically increased my engagement. Also, I think it has to do with the principle that I believe in, which is quantity produces quality. I think a lot of times we're not producing enough high quality content because we're not producing a high enough quantity of content. And so because I am posting daily, just like these videos, I'm posting these Monday through Friday, and I'm creating a lot of content, it's giving me an opportunity to see what works, to see what doesn't work, to see how I feel about it, to come up with new ideas. And so my content is getting better over time, but I knew that that would have never happened had I not started posting daily. So I think posting daily in and of itself probably does trigger the algorithm and increase engagement. But I believe also posting daily just makes your content better because you learn a lot faster. And so it becomes higher quality faster. And then people come back and want to see that. And them coming back is also a signal to the algorithm, and it just really kicks things off. All right, I hope you really enjoyed that. If you did, you're gonna love my Square Biz Masterclass. This is a really fun masterclass that I have that teaches really not just about Instagram, but how I use it in my business model and how I use it to increase my income. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can click the link below in order to register. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want even more where this came from, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you're following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.